Today on Endures, I'm sharing a couple of clips from my recent Endures quarterly pause and reset. And in them, we are discussing one of the last of my 9 catalysts, which is how we amplify endurance.
When we look at amplifying endurance, I use this scale of a ladder. And so, this statement from Robert Keegan, he talks about how growth isn't always about knowing more. Sometimes we think, well, when I know more, when I learn more, then I'm going to make the move. So that's in that piece of certainty. But also sometimes we think that we need to do more. And I want to emphasize that this amplifying endurance is not about doing more. It's not about constantly flogging yourself, but it's about becoming a leader who endures. And so the rungs of the ladder here move essentially through different identities that we can embrace, and we can choose to embrace them. So it goes from the personal to the operational to the strategic to the leadership. And at each point, we develop a different capacity and we develop different identities and different skill sets. But it also involves us shedding some of the old pieces of our former role or our former identity so that we can actually move forwards, so that we're not just taking on more and more and more, we're actually enduring more intelligently.
So, for each of the 9 catalysts, there is actually a self scoring question where you can see if you sit in the red, the amber, or the green. Have a listen to a little bit of the one of Amplify Endurance. And if you want to do the Endurance Leadership Quiz for free, check out the links in the show notes.
The scale here is looking at how strong your ability is to hold more. So the red is obviously the idea of increased responsibility is just overwhelming, and you're taking on so much that the weight just feels unsustainable. So you've got trying to have a finger on every single rung. The strained is, managing more, but the strain just shows. And then composed is holding that greater complexity with composure. So you're not being destabilized by more because you're able to let go of some of the things that you've left behind on the other rungs of the ladder and only take what you actually need with you.